Here at the San Antonio Food Bank, it's going to be an even busier time than normal, now with the government shutdown affecting SNAP benefits. Coming up on GMSA, how they say they're prepared to clear out the warehouse to help families.
But there's always wrecks here.
They've ran through our fence like 5 times, 6 times.
A car crashes into a home while a family was inside. Up next, we're going to hear from a man who was in his bedroom when the car drove through.
And this is damage from a confirmed tornado in Comal County. I've got the latest on that and chilly mornings on the way to San Antonio. Details soon.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
All right, and with that, it is a good Monday morning for all of us here at KSAT 12. Good morning, start of our 6 o'clock hour. I'm RJ Marquez.
Yes, and I'm Daphne Gray. Let's get right on over to meteorologist Sarah Spivey's been keeping an eye on what happened this weekend and what's happening ahead of us. Yeah,
that tornado in northern Comal County, considered a EF1 tornado with sustained winds of 110 miles per hour. But this morning, it's pleasant. It's in the 60s. I do have to say, though, we are seeing some areas of fog start to develop and some clouds. So keep that in mind as you're heading out the door in the next hour or so. You might have to deal with that fog. As for today's forecast, patchy fog this morning, temperatures in the 60s. By midday, though, we're going to be seeing clearing skies and in the 80s. And it's going to be warm today, 87 for the high temperature. So here's the thing. This week, today and tomorrow, it's going to be warm and muggy. Pretty much the same, but we have to be patient because by Tuesday afternoon and evening, we get a real deal cold front that'll make it windy. We're going to see gusts up to 40, 45 miles per hour. So take the time today and tomorrow to secure those lightweight Halloween decorations. And then if you're a fan of cooler weather, we've got actually chilly mornings that you're going to want the jacket, and pleasant afternoons. I'll have the latest on that fall feeling coming up in just a bit.
All right, Sarah, I know a lot of folks are going to be ready for that. Let's give you a look at the traffic right now near inbound drive times. Traffic is looking pretty good across the city of San Antonio. No major delays or accidents to let you know about at the moment. 24 minutes if you're coming in on the far northwest side of town. Good morning to all our folks out there in Bernie. 26 minutes coming in from the New Braunfels area. We are also in the process of clearing out an incident in the downtown area. This is going to be south of downtown. Earlier, we had a vehicle that was off to the side of the road there, right in the middle of 35 and 90 over by Nogalitos, but it looks like traffic is moving along there, and our TechStop crews have went ahead and cleared out that incident on 35 North. Let's check in with Alex right now. He was going to the east side for us, I-10 on the east side. Alex, how are things looking out there?
Oh, it is perfect right now, RJ. I just went through Converse. I used 1604 and I just made it to I-10. So I'm on I-10 westbound headed towards Foster Road. And right now, most of our highways are up to speed. A few hiccups last hour for the 5 o'clock, but for the 6 o'clock drivers, it should be perfect, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex. Let's check in with Devin for one of our top stories this hour. Devin?
Yeah, good morning, RJ, and good morning, San Antonio. The food bank behind me here in San Antonio is going to have an even busier week than usual. The holiday seasons are coming up, but now with the government shutdown in effect, millions of families across Texas and the country could lose benefits to their food with their SNAP benefits. The government shutdown has now reached its 5th consecutive week so far, meaning that millions of Americans will feel the impact now that the U.S. Department of Agriculture says SNAP benefits, those are some of the things, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, will not be distributed on November 1st. That means about 42 million different people could miss out on some critical assistance. The Trump administration says it won't use contingency funds, arguing that they're not legally available benefits. States will not be reimbursed if they try to cover the costs themselves. According to a statement posted on the USDA website, it says Senate Democrats have now voted 12 times to not fund the food SNAP program. Going on to say, quote, bottom line, this well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued on November 1st, end quote. In a response to this, the San Antonio Food Bank says it's doing everything that it can to make sure that families don't go without food here in town compared to a normal week. They're going to be giving out about 50% more food. That's equal to needing 13 more tractor trailer loads of food. In a statement released by their president and CEO, they says, quote, San Antonio knows how to step up in times of disaster. The government is shut down, but we are open for business. We will do whatever is required of us, even if that means emptying the warehouse, if that is what is needed, end quote. We're going to be following this for the rest of the morning here on GMSA and KSAT, speaking with the San Antonio Food Bank about how they're going to help not only families in our area, but the other nonprofits that rely on them for assistance and some of the other ways that you can get involved with some resources. We've got those up online right now at KSAT.com. For now, I'll send it back to y'all. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you very much for that, Devin. Well, this morning, San Antonio police investigating the death of a 27-year-old HEB employee at one of the company's warehouses. Police say that the woman was operating a forklift when she stopped and started to show signs of distress. A coworker called for help, and ultimately that woman was rushed to the hospital where she unfortunately later died. HEB sent us a statement that read in part, one of our warehouse partners was transported to the hospital after showing signs of distress. She later passed away at the hospital. Our HEB family is heartbroken, and we're providing support to and are in contact with the family during this difficult time, end quote.
All right, check this out right now. We are talking about a car crashing into a home while a family was inside over the weekend. It happened on Dartmoor Drive in Southwest Loop 410. The homeowner, Juan Rodriguez, said that he was in his bedroom when the car drove through the bedroom's exterior wall. Juan says that the wall fell on his ankle, and he went to the hospital later that day, but is expected to be okay. However, he says that this isn't a new problem for him, as people have been crashing into his property and his neighbor's property for years.
But there's always wrecks here because people are coming off the freeway at 67 and they don't pay attention.
They ran through our fence like 5 times, 6 times. In fact, we got another repair we have to get done right now. It's at the end of our fence.
And Rodriguez told us that the person who crashed into his home told him that he fell asleep at the wheel after working a night shift. This morning, we got a man in the hospital with severe injuries after being hit by someone driving a car. Incident happened around at 8:20 yesterday evening. And according to San Antonio police, the man was jaywalking by a fire station near North Zarzamora Street and Culebra Road. That's when witnesses say that he was hit by a red sedan that drove off after it hit him. Firefighters at the station treated the man before he was taken to the hospital.
And this morning, a 16-year-old in custody after shooting another 16-year-old. This all happened on Calle Estrella near Frio City Road on the southwest side over the weekend. Let's give you some more details here. According to SAPD, the shooter tried to get away but was eventually found. Police tell us the victim is a teenage girl. She was hit by a bullet in her right shoulder and is now recovering at the hospital.
Happening today, jurors, the prosecution and the joint defense expected back in court this morning for the third full week in a high-profile murder trial for former 3 San Antonio police officers. Now, so far, jurors have heard what a former San Antonio police officer told investigators hours after he and 2 other former officers shot and killed Melissa Perez. Well, Alfred Flores was the lead officer on the scene the night Perez was shot and killed in her apartment in 2023. At the end of the last week, Detective Deanna Platt was on the witness stand. She took down Flores' written statement in the morning after the shooting. And in his statement, Detective Platt says that he never asked for additional resources like SAPD mental health unit on the night of the shooting. If found guilty, all 3 officers face up to life in prison. And we're live streaming this trial. Gavel to gavel, you can watch it starting at 9 a.m. on all of our streaming platforms.
All right, coming up on 6:08 this morning, check this out. A powerful hurricane is closing in on the Caribbean. Hurricane Melissa is now a Category 5 storm with winds up to 160 miles per hour. Take a look at that video. It's expected to slam into Jamaica tonight or early tomorrow morning, then move towards southeastern Cuba. Officials in Jamaica have opened nearly 900 shelters and issued mandatory evacuations as the island braces for what's expected to be catastrophic flooding and landslides. Okay, back here closer to home, Homeland Security is defending the actions of federal officers in Chicago after a weekend of confrontations. A Halloween parade for kids was canceled when agents deployed what looked like tear gas. Officials say it happened as they tried to arrest a construction worker who was in the country illegally. In another incident, video shows agents pushing a woman to the ground before speeding off. Now, DHS says the officers acted in self-defense as part of a crackdown that's led to nearly 3,000 arrests in Chicago since last month.
Alrighty, we have some fog out there this morning, but here's the thing. Chilly mornings are on the way. You will actually need the jacket at some point this week, all because of a cool front. I've got the latest coming up.
A baby trapped under an overturned car and a heroic rescue caught on camera. Stay with us. You're going to see the moments the baby takes that first life-saving cry.
And 2 suspects arrested in the Louvre heist in Paris, where over $100 million in crown jewels vanished in just 7 minutes. Up next, why investigators believe the robbers had help from the inside.
It is 6:13. We got a North Texas story that is going to make you a little nervous. Right here, a heart-stopping rescue of a baby trapped beneath an overturned car. Allison Cossack shows us what happened next.
This was the moment police in Fort Worth ran toward a car that had flipped over in a crash, ejecting a mother and her 1-year-old daughter. The mother can be seen on the ground, in the background on the left, as the officers search for the baby.
Under here, we need to move the car.
Realizing the baby is pinned underneath, the officers get other drivers who had stopped at the scene to help them lift the car.
I think the baby's under the... Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
Raising it just enough for one of the officers to grab the child's leg and pull her to safety. She was unresponsive, but had a pulse. The officer turns her head to the side and opens her airway, while the other officer begins CPR.
She has a pulse. Is she breathing though?
After 2 long minutes,
there it is. Come on, baby. Keep working.
The girl begins to make noises, then starts to cry.
There you go. There you go, Mama.
They did what they were trained to do, and it was absolutely amazing.
Also amazing, the officers just happened to be nearby before the crash.
Fortunately, these officers were actually a few vehicles behind this accident that took place. So as the call came out and got dispatched, these officers were rolling up on scene within seconds. They went into action. They're heroes. You know, we always look at the definition of hero. You don't have to look anymore. You watch this video and you'll see it yourself.
The baby is expected to make a full recovery. The police department issued a statement saying they're beyond proud of those 2 officers, Sergeant Nichols and Officer Bounds. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Well, good morning. Right now I am west of downtown. I'm on 90 westbound near General McMullen Drive, and everything looks to be okay right now. I'm not tracking any incidents. However, driving conditions are only okay. I do see a lot of low clouds out here, even fog in the area, but street level, I think we're going to be doing all right. If that gets any lower, I'll let you know where those spots are going to be at, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Alex. And yes, let's go ahead and pop up some of our TransGuide traffic cameras to show you some of the fog that we're seeing at some of our higher elevations right here. So this camera is actually pretty high up. So you could see it is the Alamo Dome Tower, the Tower of the Americas camera looking down on 37. Right there is the Gonzalez Convention Center. But you see that traffic is for the most part moving along. Want to show you a couple of other shots here. This is 37-410 on the southeast side. You can see that we do have some fog in that area. A little bit of light fog and traffic over here at 37 Pecan Valley. So southeast side looks like it's getting a little bit of fog right now for our morning drive and our morning commuters on that side of town. Now, accident-wise, nothing major right now at the moment. We actually just cleared out an incident right here at 410 and 90, so we're good to go for our drivers that are on the west side of town. A little bit of backup a little bit further out on the far west side over by 1604 and 90. But otherwise, traffic is looking pretty good. But I know that some of these morning drivers, Sarah, may run into some of this fog out there after what was a very busy weekend for you guys here.
Absolutely. Love seeing those cameras there, RJ. Thank you. Keep your eye on that for us because we are starting to see some fog develop. Visibility is down to only a mile in Pleasanton, down to 3 miles in Bernie, and down to 6 miles at Stinson. So perfect visibility would be 10 miles. So again, there are some areas where we're starting to see fog pop up. So be very careful. Maybe give yourself an extra 10 minutes to get to where you need to go. And remember, with fog, it's low beams, not the high beams. The high beams can end up making the fog worse for people, not only for you, but also for those around you. So use those low beams this morning. As we take a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, we're going to have some of this fog and clouds through part of the morning here. By 10 o'clock, we'll probably start to see a few peaks of sun, and then by the afternoon, it will be mostly sunny. So starting off our day with fog and clouds, by the afternoon hours, temperatures will start to get into the 80s, and then in the peak of the heat, 4 or 5 o'clock, 87 for the high temperature in San Antonio. It is going to be a warm day in the Alamo City, but relief is on the way. 87 in Kerrville, 88 in New Braunfels, close to 100 degrees down near Laredo. South Texas going to be one of the hottest spots across the nation, but here is where that front is. You can really clearly see it. Highs only in the 50s in parts of the nation this morning because of that cool front. And that cool front will take its time, though. We're going to have to be a little patient. It's going to be warm today, and it's going to be warm tomorrow. Tomorrow, that front's not going to make it to San Antonio until the afternoon and early evening hours. So in the morning, we'll see the front bringing chilly weather across the Panhandle, and then that front is not going to make it to us until after the peak heat of the day. So we're still going to be close to 90 tomorrow, close to 100 again down near Laredo, but then that front's going to move through in the afternoon and evening, and it is going to get very windy. Take a look at tomorrow's wind gusts. We're going to see wind gusts of up to 35 to 40 miles per hour tomorrow night. So all of those lightweight Halloween decorations, we should really, I suggest making sure that they're anchored down or bringing in some of the very lightweight decorations, because again, tomorrow those winds are going to kick up after that front moves through, which is after 2 p.m. Then we're going to see an improvement and feel like fall with nice and cool temperatures by Wednesday morning, waking up near 50 degrees with a high only in the 60s on Wednesday, and really feeling the chill by Thursday and Friday mornings. Our morning lows are going to be in the 40s. You're going to want a jacket on Thursday and Friday in the morning hours. You won't necessarily need them in the afternoon when we reach a comfortable high temperature in the 70s, but this is going to be gorgeous weather for us and great weather for trick-or-treating too. So we're going to start off in the 70s and then cool into the 60s, quickly cooling. Sunsets around 6:48 on Halloween night, Friday night. Very, very nice weather for us for Halloween. So just to recap everything for you, morning fog today and tomorrow, and warm today and tomorrow, near 90 degrees tomorrow before that front moves through in the later afternoon hours. Gusts up to 40 miles per hour that will carry into Wednesday, when we'll only reach a high in the 60s. So a 20-degree drop there in temperatures with chilly mornings and comfortable afternoons, even carrying into the weekend, guys.
All right, thank you very much for that, Sarah. We're looking at 6:20 on your Monday morning and 66 degrees outside.
Okay, 2 suspects arrested in the Louvre heist. $100 million in crown jewels stolen in just minutes. And up next, the Inside Connection police say could turn this heist into a true conspiracy.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the Louvre investigation intensifies. 2 alleged thieves are in custody on suspicion they were half of the quartet that used power tools and a mechanical ladder to steal more than $100 million worth of France's crown jewels in just 7 minutes. One suspect arrested at Charles de Gaulle Airport while preparing to travel to Algeria. The other in a Paris suburb and believed to be destined for Mali, West Africa. The robbery at the world's most famous museum has brought up uncomfortable questions around its security. Sources tell ABC News investigators believe the robbers had help from the inside, but are still working to develop evidence.
The person that was the, quote, insider, if they determine that he was involved, he would definitely get charged as a co-conspirator in the case.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the very latest on the investigation, live from outside the Louvre. With your GMA First Look, I'm Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
All right, this is a look at yesterday's pollen count, so I want to bring you some good news. On Saturday, molds were high, but yesterday molds fell into the low category. We'll get the pollen count in here within the next couple of hours for the day. We'll be sure to update you on air and online.
And we are crash-free to start your Monday morning. So good news, but we are still dealing with some fog making its way through the San Antonio area. We're going to show you a couple of other cameras and some other trouble spots. Also check in with Alex coming up at 6:30. Also coming up in our next half hour.
The libraries are back open this morning, my friends, and we're talking about New Braunfels ISD middle and high school students can start checking books out again from their school libraries. We got the latest with the district trying to comply with a Senate bill that bans harmful and indecent content from school books. The San Antonio Food Bank still open for business and will clear out their warehouses if it means keeping families who depend on SNAP benefits fed. KSAT's Devin Carb has the latest on your options this morning.
Government shutdown now means that SNAP benefits won't be distributed. Coming up on GMSA, how local nonprofits are stepping up to help and what they're doing to make sure that you don't go to bed hungry.
We're actually going to see chilly mornings this week in San Antonio, but take a look at this. This damage was done by a confirmed tornado from Friday night in northern Comal County. I'm going to have the details on that tornado's path coming up.
Doing a little early holiday shopping here. Yo, check this stuff out. Okay, yeah, we all know holidays are right around the corner. Consumer Reports projecting that holiday shopping is going to be lower. We're talking about this morning how you can shop early as a best option.
Excitement is building for our San Antonio Spurs. They're undefeated to start the season. We have all the sights and sounds from an exciting home opener at the Frostbank Center.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And coming up on this 6:30 hour, of course, if you guys are waking up with us, we're getting everything you need to know in our traffic world. But more importantly, let's get over to meteorologist Sarah Spivey going down in the weather department, how things are looking today.
Well, we're starting to see some fog develop early this morning. So as you're heading out the door in the next couple of hours, use a little extra caution, maybe 10 more minutes to where you need to get to go, and use those low beams in your car rather than the high beams. The high beams can end up dispersing a lot of that light and making it worse for you and for those around you. Visibility is down to a mile in some places, like in Pleasanton, and we have seen visibility as low as 3 miles up in northwestern Bexar County. So yes, use caution today. We've got some fog out there early this morning. Otherwise, it's a mild start to our day in the mid to upper 60s, even near 70 degrees. Stinson, Converse area, still in the 50s though in the hill country. Okay, so today is going to be a warm one. As you're planning on dropping off the kids, cloudy, some fog early this morning, and then picking up the kids though, it will be warm and sunny, 87. Warm today, warm tomorrow, but tomorrow in the afternoon and early evening hours, we're going to get a real deal cold front. This front is going to actually be strong. We're going to see our highs fall from the 80s into the 60s. Our mornings, you're going to want the jacket. Morning lows are going to go from the 60s to the 40s, and that humidity is going to get swept away. Goodbye muggy weather. Hello very, very dry weather, even chapstick weather in some cases. I'll be back to show you a look at those chilly mornings coming up in a bit.
All right, 6:31, let's get you out the door safe. We're going to show you a couple of these cameras with the fog in just a bit, but 25 minutes coming in from the far west side. Good morning to all of our folks out there at Kerrville, kind of our normal buildup that we see during this time of the morning. 24 minutes coming in from Bernie, 17 minutes coming in from Lytle, and 33 minutes coming in from 181 on the southeast side. And that's exactly where we're going to take you. There's a shot of our camera there at the Tower of the Americas, and you see a little bit, some light fog on the southeast side of town. Want to switch up. This is going to be 37 at 410 on the southeast side, and right there 37 in Pecan Valley. So traffic is moving along. No major accidents here. I'll check on that incident right there. That looks like a potential stall off to the access road. But again, no major accidents right now to start out your Monday morning drive. Let's check in with Alex right now. He's in the south side of town for us, making his way in drive cam. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. I'm on the south side as well, and I'm checking things out near 410 eastbound near Zarzamora. And right now, I think things are all right. I'm not tracking incidents for the south side, and visibility over here is holding up. But if that changes, I'll let you know, RJ.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. Let's check in with Devin now with our top story this half hour.
RJ, I'm over here at the San Antonio Food Bank, where with the Thanksgiving and Christmas season just around the corner, they would be busy already if it weren't for the government shutdown, which now is going to affect the way millions of Americans get some of their food. The government shutdown has entered into its 5th week and now says that SNAP benefits will not be redistributed come November 1st. This is something now from the U.S. Department of Agriculture announcing that means that about 42 million people could miss out on critical food assistance food assistance. Now, the Trump administration says they're not going to be able to use those contingency funds, arguing they're not legally available for regular benefits, and states won't be allowed to reimburse if they go for the costs themselves. According to a statement posted on the USDA website, it says Senate Democrats have now voted 12 times to not fund the Food SNAP program. Going on to say, quote, bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st, end quote. In a response to this now, the San Antonio Food Bank says it's going to ramp up its efforts to help out people with food, distributing about 50% more food than a normal week. That's an extra 13 tractor trailers full of food. In a statement released by their president and CEO, he says in part, quote, San Antonio knows how to step up in times of disaster. The government is shut down, but we are open for business. We will do whatever is required to us, even emptying the warehouse if that is what is needed, end quote. Now, the San Antonio Food Bank doesn't just provide food assistance for the thousands of families here in Bexar County. They also help out lots of neighboring pantries in the area that also aim to fill in some of the gaps for food insecurity around town. We're going to be speaking with them and the food bank later on this morning here throughout the day on KSAT, keeping you updated with the latest here. We also have a list of resources online at KSAT.com. If you or a loved one need to make sure that there's food on your plate come tonight and November 1st, when those SNAP benefits will run dry. For now, I'll send it back to y'all. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
6:34 right now. This morning, more than 66,000 people in Bexar County have already taken part in early voting, and you still have time to do the same. Here are some of those important dates that we've been talking about throughout this entire week. Early voting ends at the end of the month, which is Friday, October 31st. Then Election Day on November the 4th. Now, right now, there's still a lot of focus on the funding propositions for the Frost Bank Center and the new downtown arena, but the entire state will be voting on amendments to the Texas Constitution. And one of the most significant affects bail and the denial of it in certain cases. It's Proposition 3 on the ballot. If passed, judges would be required to deny bail for people accused of certain felonies. Now, the state would also have to show that bail would be not enough to make sure that the accused isn't a flight risk or danger to the public. Defendants would have the right to an attorney in bail hearings. Another issue the Texas legislature has been trying to address is property tax relief, where Proposition 13 would increase the resident's homestead exemption from an ad valorem taxation by $40,000. Now, what that means is that up to $140,000 in value cannot be taxed to pay for public schools. We have more details on all of these constitutional propositions right now at KSAT.com.
6:36 right now. If you're getting up in the New Braunfels ISD this morning, have an update here. The middle and high school libraries will reopen later on today. This all comes as the district says it's trying to comply with a newly passed Senate bill to ban harmful, indecent, or profane content in books at schools. A list of 81 books now on their website this morning. They will begin reviewing these books to decide if they are still Senate Bill 13 compliant or non-compliant, and will label them as such. The bill bans books, again, that are indecent or profane from being allowed in public school classrooms and libraries in Texas.
I'd like to bring up the Supreme Court case, Board of Education v. PICO, which ruled you cannot restrict the availability of books because you disagree with their ideas and or content. Although this is a temporary closure, it is still a form of censorship because it restricts my access to the books within the library.
I want to commend y'all for doing what's right. I want to commend y'all for having a backbone and standing up. The reason the state has to keep stepping in and banning cell phones in schools and banning library books is because regular school district boards are not doing it.
Parents in the New Braunfels ISD are still able to restrict their own child's access to books via their online portal for that district.
Looking ahead, San Antonio ISD taking the next step in right-sizing plan after closing more than a dozen campuses. The district now hosting reimagined community meetings at schools that will soon welcome new tenants. Brewer Academy hosts today's meeting, followed by Gonzales Elementary tomorrow and Pickett Academic Academy on Thursday. Each one starts at 5 p.m. with a presentation, a tour, and some time for questions. And today in Kerrville, Texas Parks and Wildlife will hold a public meeting meeting at Kerr Wildlife Management to discuss the July floods' impact on local fisheries. They'll share management plans for the Guadalupe River and community fishing lakes and get public input. Topics include fisheries, recovery, now permit information for landowners, and controlling invasive species. Now, this meeting aims to help the community recover. Also in Kerrville, we got city officials planning to remove crosswalk art. This after Governor Greg Abbott's message earlier this month stating that markings, signs, and signals are not supporting traffic or safety and should be removed. And Kerrville officials say that their painted crosswalks are murals of the Guadalupe River. However, the assistant city manager says that plan to remove them is now in the works, saying in part, quote, "We understand the directive and don't want to jeopardize any partnerships with the state on account of a few crosswalks," end quote. And Governor Abbott also called to remove political and social messages from the roadways and streets, threatening that the cities who do not comply could have funding withheld. San Antonio city leaders still evaluating our situation here. Cops Metro celebrating 50 years of community organizing. The group announced a decade-long strategy called Public Money for Public Good. The goal is investing money for neighborhood infrastructure and flood control. Over 2,000 people attended the event this past weekend, and sister groups to Cops Metro also showed up in support of its mission. And Cops Metro leaders have held press conferences opposing to Prop B, which is the financing of a $2 billion Spurs stadium downtown. We got a full breakdown of that back and forth, all of that coverage, KSAT.com.
6:39, let's get you to some of your top stories here. And overseas, President Donald Trump is in Japan for his first meeting with the country's new prime minister. Trade is expected to be the top agenda, or at the top of the agenda, with Japan trying to ease tensions over American car imports. Tokyo is even considering buying a fleet of Ford F-150 trucks for road inspections, a move that some say could clog Japan's narrow streets. President Trump, though, says that he likes that idea. Okay, developing story here. A bipartisan group of lawmakers want to hear from the NBA about that recent gambling scandal, which has rocked the league. The NBA is now looking into allegations of insider information that was used in an alleged mafia-related scheme on NBA games and also rigged underground poker games. Last week, 34 people were indicted in connection with two separate federal gambling investigations, and one of them was Blazers coach Chauncey Billups, and the other was a former player, Terry Rozier.
Friday night and Saturday morning, we got some good rain in San Antonio, but we also have a confirmed tornado, the path of which I'll have the latest coming up.
And we're checking out the situation right now on the northeast side of town. Traffic is moving along, but seeing a little bit of slowdown at Olympia Parkway. We also have a crash on the southeast side. We're going to give you a full breakdown, also show you the very latest with your fog situation as you step outside. Jeff?
If you think you're still ready to tackle your holiday shopping, you need to think again. Stay with us because we got the best ways to outsmart the season and stretch your dollars further. 6:44 right now. Okay, ready to get an early start on that holiday gift list? You need to hold up because holiday shopping this year isn't business as usual.
Yeah, I'm definitely not ready, but prices on many items are higher and timing is everything. So here's how you can make your money go further.
The holiday shopping season is already taking shape, but this year, Santa may have to tighten his belt. A new report finds that consumers expect to drop their holiday gift spending by 11% compared to last year. So, as you approach your holiday shopping, Consumer Reports has some strategies to help you save where it matters the most.
Buying earlier can lock in lower prices and give you the best selection before the most popular items sell out. But buying early doesn't mean buying more. Sticking to your list helps you make sure your budget stays on track.
And waiting too long can also cost you. Prices often climb as the holidays get closer, and tariffs, shipping costs, or product shortages could push them even higher.
Shopping early can be convenient, but it can shorten your return and warranty window. However, some retailers do help. Walmart and JCPenney accept most holiday returns into late January.
So the trick here is not just buying early, but also buying smart.
A good deal is only a deal if the product works well. You can check our ratings to see things like warranty lengths and compare across stores.
Another way to save is by stacking deals, use retailer coupons, cashback apps, and credit card rewards all together.
Don't forget about loyalty programs. They often come with perks like waived return fees or extended return periods. And of course, always keep your receipts.
And of course, it's always a blessing whenever we get to see the community come together for a Beautiful cause. And this one right here is specifically dealing with 40,000 babies going on or being born with a congenital heart defect each year. They had the Children's Heart Foundation hosted 33 walks across the country, and I was able to MC the one that happened yesterday at Morgan's Wonderland in our area. Again, beautiful to see so many of you guys come out, so many different t-shirts with different families and, you know, memorials going on. But more than anything, everybody just fighting on that same mission to raise funding and research for our babies out there who are dealing with a congenital heart defect.
Yeah, and great to see the crowd out there at Morgan's Wonderland. Of course, Gordon Hartman always having these types of events to help a lot of folks, not only in the San Antonio area, but across South Central Texas.
Now, the weather out there, that when I was there in the morning time, it was actually pleasant. And I'm like, it's starting to feel really good. Driving over there, I didn't need to put any air conditioning on or anything.
Yeah, so if you're stepping outside right now, let's go ahead and give you an update on the roads and see how everything's looking. I mean, it feels pretty good out there, but you're going to run into a little bit of delay, specifically right here on the southeast side, 410 at WW White, and Alex is kind of cruising around that scene, so we'll check in with him in just a bit. But 1604 Bandera Road, a little bit of delays for all of our drivers going north on 1604 over by Bandera for all of our folks out there in the Helotes area. But we've been talking about some light fog, especially around the southeast side of town. Here's a look at the Tower of the Americas shot, the Alamo Dome Tower, and one more quick look here. This is going to be 37 at 410. So again, just give yourself a little bit extra time if you're going to be stepping outside. But let's check in with Alex right now because he was kind of cruising around the southeast east side of town. So let's go ahead and get an update from him. And Alex, what are you looking at out there?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So I've been in the area on the east and southeast side, and I did pass that incident on 410 North and South of WW White Road. There were two disabled vehicles on the right shoulder, so I'm not too sure if it was a crash. It could have been severely minor, but they were put over. But the main lanes are going to be opened, and from there on out, past Rigsby and past Houston Street, there's been no issues, RJ.
Okay, that is good news, but again, just give yourself a little bit more time as we see a little bit of that fog from Drive Cam. All right, let's go to our San Antonio Spurs. Here we go. We got lots of people that came out to watch the Silver and Black take on the Brooklyn Nets during their home opener. Of course, the one and only Victor Wembanyama right there. San Antonio off to a great start this season, opening the season on the road, beating the Mavs and then the Pelicans. And then check this out. We got a brand new banner at the Frostbank Center in honor of Coach Pop and his NBA record, 1,390 career wins. And of course, the party didn't stop there. The Spurs defeated the Nets 118-107. 6 Spurs finishing double figures. Of course, the big man, Wemby, 31 points, 14 boards, 6 blocks, 3 steals, enough to fill up an entire stat box sheet there. Tonight, the Spurs are getting ready to take on the Raptors at home. Game tip-off at 7 o'clock. And hey, check this out. KSAT's very own John Paul Barajas shows us how all of the fans out there were excited about the home opener and the rest of the season.
How do you feel about that beatdown we gave Dallas opening night?
Oh, it's pretty good. I mean, we did it against Cooper Flag, so
it's a big start. It's a very good start, and hope they will win also this week.
Well, they had a great first game, so I can't be more proud of the Spurs, especially this season. We're actually very excited because our son's on the Spurs hype team.
So did he learn his moves from his mom?
Of course.
I'm going to put you, can you do something?
No.
Put you to the test. You got his moves from somewhere. Expectations for today?
Big dub today, 3-0. Yeah, that's
Nets stand no chance.
Not a chance, not even close. I hope they will win another game, another title, another NBA championship.
Go Spurs go. All right, Friday night we had storms in San Antonio, and now we know a confirmed tornado through Kendall County and Comal County starting at 11:35 p.m. in Kendall County south of Candelia, dissipating over northern Comal County by about midnight, crossing right over 281 there and north of the lake. Here's a look at some of that footage of the damage that was done by a EF1 tornado with wind speeds of 110 miles per hour. Damage was done across that county, but thank goodness no injuries or deaths reported. Okay, let's talk about our forecast. Now tomorrow the front will be arriving, so we have to wait and be patient. It's going to be warm today and it's going to be warm tomorrow. That front is not going to arrive in San Antonio until the afternoon and early evening hours tomorrow. So we're still going to be near 90. Then our winds are going to really kick up. So make sure those Halloween decorations are secure, or else you might be fishing for them. We're going to see wind gusts tomorrow night, 35 to 45 miles per hour. So again, secure those Halloween decorations. Then we see the effect of the front in the form of temperatures. Take a look at this. By Wednesday morning, near 50 degrees, only in the 60s. On Wednesday afternoon, it'll be cold. Thursday and Friday morning, you're going to want the jacket. Temperatures will only be in the 40s. On Thursday morning, we'll be in the low 40s in many neighborhoods as well. But it's warm today, and we've got some fog out there early this morning, so use caution on the roads. We'll be looking at mostly cloudy skies through this morning. Then we'll be seeing a high temperature of 87 degrees. So warm today with morning fog, warm tomorrow. That front moves through, and we're left with very windy conditions, chilly mornings, but beautiful afternoons. That fall feeling is finally here, guys.
All right. 6:51 right now, 66 outside.
All right, coming up on GMSA Plus, how about this? You're going to have to live Moss. The Gen Z edition, how the fast food chain is hoping to appeal to some younger generations.
All right, welcome back. If you're stepping out the door the next couple of hours, you're going to want to know that there are some areas of patchy fog. Otherwise, today, tomorrow, it's going to be warm. We're going to be near 90 degrees both today and tomorrow. But tomorrow in the afternoon and early evening hours, front is going to move through. That front is going to first bring us very gusty winds. We're going to see wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour in the evening tomorrow. That'll carry over into Wednesday. Then look what happens to temperatures. Near 50 degrees on Wednesday morning, and only in the 60s during the day on Wednesday. Our morning lows will be chilly on Thursday and Friday. We're going to want that jacket. It's going to be in the 40s with highs pleasant, though, in the 70s. And then we continue the pleasant weather into the weekend.
All right, let's give you a quick check of your traffic right now with our citywide map. And we're seeing a little bit of delays for our drivers 1604 north headed over by Bandera Road on the far northwest side of town. No major accidents, but Alex Gomez is now reporting that there may be an incident on 37 at Carolina. Plus, we will track the very latest with the fog across the city. Jeff.
Also, we got the latest from the fallout around the government shutdown and why the San Antonio Food Bank preparing for more people to possibly need their aid. You guys stick around because GMSA Plus continues after this.